Yo, what is going on, guys? So on today's episode, we are going to be covering a video here, which a lot of you guys have been sending me lately. You've been asking me to cover this one, and it is titled, I Wish I Had a Boyfriend. Now, what I think this video is about, because I haven't watched it yet, I think this is a woman who has just hit 30 years of age. She is still single. She hasn't found her Prince Charming yet. She had a boyfriend previously, but she broke up with him because he wouldn't change. And, she's looking for love, okay? She desires love. She really, really, really wants to find somebody to love her. But for some reason, it seems as though she can't do it. So let's jump right in, guys. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. We might not get through the whole thing because it's 22 minutes, but we'll see how we go. So don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. And let's take a listen to what this woman has to say.
I feel so lonely and I want a boyfriend or a partner or husband or whatever so badly. And I just want to start this off by saying that this is not a video of me looking for propositions from men to be my boyfriend or something like that. I'm not looking for an online relationship. I want someone in my life physically. Out of all the love languages, my top love language is physical touch and quality time. So online relationships aren't going to work for me. But I just desire love so strongly, and I have for so long. I've wanted to talk about it many times over video, but I haven't because I just don't know how to say it. But I know that everyone or most people feel the exact same way. Everyone wants to be loved, everyone wants a partner, and it's such a deep, it's such a passionate, deep, strong feeling inside of each of us, or at least specifically myself. Yet it's so hard for me at least to express it in words, the feeling. It just feels like, I want to say emptiness, but that is wrong because I used to always look for a man to fill the emptiness inside of me. And
okay, so let's pause it right here. She is essentially saying that she really wants somebody to love her. She really wants a relationship. She wants, some form of stability. She wants a boyfriend. She wants a husband, something like this, okay? And this is something that many women will tell you pretty much endlessly as a man, whether it be, through videos like this on the internet. You've probably heard women say this to you in real life or something like this. A lot of single women will say this, right? I am looking for love. But the thing you have to understand, guys, is women are never truly single. The issue here is that she can't find the man that she wants to commit to her. This is the issue that so many modern women have, is they can get a relationship, they can get a boyfriend, they can have the love that they so strongly desire. But the thing is, they want those things from a man who they are very attracted to. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't want it from the average man. If they wanted love from the average man, they could have love from the average man. But they're not actually looking for love. That's not really what they're looking for. If they were looking for love, they can find it, guys. Even this woman right here, I believe she's hit 30 years of age. She's probably been with a whole bunch of different dudes. She could still find a man. Make no mistake about it, right? A lot of these women can still find a man. They just don't want an average man.
Just always look for a man to fill the emptiness inside of me. And after many, many years of looking for men to fill that emptiness in me, I realized that the only one who could fill that emptiness was God. But the desire for a boyfriend or husband or whatnot is so strong inside of me. And I always try to not fight it, but kind of, because I know that the reason why I am not with someone right now is because it's not the right time, and God does have a plan for me.
Right, so let me see if I'm understanding this correctly. You went out to the streets, you got with a whole bunch of different men, hoping they would, quote unquote, fill the emptiness inside of you. And now that you're 30, you have turned to God, right? And you're looking for something more substantive, right? You're looking for something serious. This is the thing, man, that gets me is women will get to 30 and they'll start having these epiphanies or realizations, or a change in behavior, or they'll just start to crack because they really want a boyfriend or a husband. The boyfriend or husband you've probably passed your husband, you've probably passed your boyfriend. You do not get to 30 years of age as a woman in Western day society, especially if you have a public social media account anywhere, without rejecting your Prince Charming at least once. It is so statistically improbable that it's not even funny. Okay? So 30 years of age, turn to God now, apparently, because we can't find a man. And apparently it's just not the right time. Anything to avoid personal accountability, it seems like to me, guys. Oh, it's not the right time. I'm looking. It's never like, oh, I made the wrong decisions. I am looking for a man who's out of my league. You'll never hear that.
But it's just not yet. But I try to be patient because it's just this knowing in me that I'm not ready yet. Everyone says that you can, everybody is different, but everyone says that you can still have a boyfriend or be in a successful relationship when you're at your worst or when you're depressed or things like that. But for my personal situation, I do feel like I need to overcome or get to a certain level in my mental health and in my personal journey before I can successfully be in a relationship. And that's only if I'm being honest with myself. It takes a lot of honesty with myself and surrender to really accept the reality that I need to overcome some stuff on my own first.
Right. We need to do some healing. We need to do some self-work, right? And I will say, guys, there is an element of truth to this, okay? And this is why men don't want to date women who have been partying or doing Lord knows what all throughout their 20s in the first place, right? Is because they come with a lot of baggage. They oftentimes come with a lot of mental issues. And I'm not making fun of mental issues here, guys. I'm saying the reality of it, right? A lot of guys don't want to deal with women who are, quite frankly, broken, right? These women will oftentimes cheat on you. They will make your life a complete mess. It'll become a complete headache. Things like this, right? Like, dudes don't want to get in a relationship with a woman who has a whole bunch of baggage, right? So women will go out there, they'll do whatever throughout their 20s, they'll get to 30, and then they'll say, I need to do my healing. And the question is, healing from what? You see what I'm saying? Guys are not really interested in this. Now, the bit of truth that I can agree with here, guys, is that, dudes, if your mental health is completely screwed, a man's not going to fix that for you, nor is it his job. People are always looking for someone to fix them. That's not how this works, man. So I can agree a little bit there. But I do find it funny, guys, how we are always hitting 30 and then we just magically start to feel the need to heal ourselves. Funny how that works.
I've been single for about 5 years now, somewhere between 4 or 5 years, and I was 25 or 26 when I broke up with my last boyfriend. And I made a promise to myself that I would not be in a relationship again for at least 1 year, because my boyfriend and I were together for 2 years and we were very serious. And I read online somewhere at one point that said something that you need at least half the time of your relationship before of being single after it ends, before you go into the next one. It's not some sort of arbitrary number like that, but it did make sense, and that was a big deal to me. I was like, okay, I'm going to take a whole year, because prior to that, whenever I was in between boyfriends, I only had 2, but I was constantly on dating apps, constantly.
Right, so constantly on dating applications, has been single for 4 to 5 years, broke up with her ex-boyfriend of 2 years. They were very serious for an undisclosed reason. I'm sure she'll maybe get into it later. Usually you don't get any sort of actual direct reasoning. You'll hear crap like, we grew apart, or, some other fluff language where you don't actually get a real descriptor of why the two have broken up. If you ask the man, usually there'll be a very clear reason. If you ask the woman, especially when she's making a video on the internet, she will typically never give you a clear reason for that. But on dating applications, 4 to 5 years, broke up with a previous boyfriend, hasn't elaborated why yet. Let's continue.
And that year mark passed, and I still felt like, even though I was still seeking like dating, casual dating on dating apps at that point, after that 1 year, I think I knew in the back of my mind that I needed to, no, I did know in the back of my mind that I still wasn't healed, because it wasn't just that I need to, you know what, I misspoke, but I don't want to refilm this whole video just to replace that part. It was so long ago I forgot, but I knew that wasn't making sense to me.
Before she continues here, by the way, so she broke up with her boyfriend. She hopped in a bunch of random dudes' beds throughout that year, so she didn't want to have a relationship for at least 1 year. What that essentially translates to is she wanted to go out there and have her fun. Everybody knows this, man. You know, woman will break up with her relationship. What is the first thing that she does? She goes out there and she returns to the streets. Now, women might think that this is a great idea. You might think even that you're getting back at your ex-boyfriend or your ex-husband. And sure, it might hurt him. But you know what that man will realize? That man will realize that he made the damn right choice. If you break up with a woman, or she breaks up with you or whatever, and she just spends a year going through random dudes on a dating application, you have essentially won that. You, my friend, you have gotten out of the other side. Okay, this is a net positive for the dude, right? This is kind of like verification that he shouldn't have been with you in the first place, because you weren't wife material, you weren't girlfriend material, you clearly didn't care that much about the guy.
When I broke up with my boyfriend, that 1 year mark was just something I read about how long it takes to move on or something like that. That was not what I was thinking. What I told myself is I wasn't allowed to be in another relationship until I healed myself, because I had a lot of issues. I had all the same depression during that time and previously, and it was in that relationship that I had learned that no man was going to save me from my depression and my issues, because I was in this relatively good relationship with a really nice man. His name was Austin. He was amazing. Everybody in my family, he still talks to him occasionally. He's a great man, but we weren't compatible.
And there it is, right? I broke up with my good boyfriend of 2 years. The reason provided, because we weren't compatible. What did I tell you guys? I promise you, I have not watched this video until this recording right now, right? So she broke up with him. Great relationship, nice man, got along with her family, excuse me. I don't know why he's still talking to her family. Complete waste of time, guys. Like, just, you know, I think that men should completely disinvolve themselves from women's lives whenever the two split up. I don't think men should give their attention, their validation, anything to women in any capacity once the relationship is over. I don't think you should be getting money. I don't think you should be getting validation. Shouldn't be following her on social media, things like this, right? But we ended the relationship with the perfect man because why, guys? Drum roll, please. We were not compatible. The classic, the absolute classic. So of course she goes out here, she does her healing. And of course, what does her healing involve? Hooking up with a whole bunch of dudes, essentially. And also, look, I can understand mental health preventing you from having a successful relationship, but this woman is quite literally saying, because my mental health is bad, I'm just going to sleep with dudes instead of having a relationship, right? I'm going to avoid having anything serious because of my mental health. And at that point, you're really just using your mental health as an excuse to go out there and hook up with random dudes. Right? And if that's what you want to do, fine, but don't involve the discussion about mental health, I don't think. Just say that you're for the streets and that's what it is. I'm not here to judge, but at least be honest about what it is.
He was extremely extroverted, I was extremely introverted. We didn't mesh in that way, we weren't right for each other, but he was a great person. And
she was extroverted, he was introverted. Please tell me, guys, why the first thing I thought of was she wanted to go out there partying and clubbing, and he did not wish to join her. That is the first thing that sprung to my mind.
I didn't really realize that a lot of our problem was that I was introverted and he was extroverted and we have different desires in life. But that's aside from the point. The point was that I was with this man who loved me so much and made me so happy and was so wonderful, but I was still just as depressed as I'd always been. And that moment I've talked about in other videos was when I realized no man was going to be the answer for my internal pain, my internal suffering, my internal emptiness.
Yeah, so I think this woman is right. You can't fix broken women. It's not your job as a man to do this, right? She's broken. She was with this guy. And here's something that a lot of men experience these days, particularly in Western societies, what I've noticed at least, is that dudes will get into a relationship. They will do absolutely everything to make the woman happy. You will give her absolutely everything. You'll pay for everything, or at least to the best of your capability. You'll do whatever it is that she wants to do. You'll fix everything. You'll try and help her through her issues. But the fact of the matter is, guys, broken women are broken, right? You know, hell, it's even in songs these days. Another way to word it politely for YouTube is you can't make a 304 into a housewife, right? People know this. So don't try, is my recommendation.
So when that relationship ended, I made a promise to myself to not go into another relationship until I had overcome the issues I knew I needed to overcome. And year after year after year would go by. At this point now, it's been over 4 years where I am now, and I had not healed or overcome these things I wanted to heal or overcome. And I was still constantly, up until last year, last time I had a dating app was, I've always had a dating app. Always, it was just constantly finding a new guy, because I needed them to fill my emptiness inside of me, because I had a very severe limerence, and I put all my happiness into the hands of someone else. I think now I did that. There's many psychological reasons why I did it, but I think one of them was that I was so unhappy that I couldn't control my own unhappiness, and I thought that because a man gave me a little bit of happiness, as humans are, relationships do bring us joy and happiness, and especially when you can't have them, you think that they're the source of your happiness and they're on a pedestal. And I realized that, sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. It was kind of important, this realization that I had. But I realized that, wow, I can't believe I'm blanking. I don't usually do this. I was using, sorry, I'm trying to like trigger this thought back.
Right, I'm just going to mute it for a second while she fixes where she was at, kind of thing here. So basically what she did was she hooked up with a whole bunch of random dudes, on dating applications all the time. And she does what many women do these days, which is something that I've talked about on the channel, is they chase men that they can't have, right? They continue to go out there on dating applications and they get a little bit of attention from that attractive guy. They can't help themselves. They end up in his bed. He doesn't want a relationship with her. And then the process continues and she blames all men. This is essentially where we're at. Let's continue.
My happiness in someone else's sense. I don't know. It's kind of a whole other video, whole other topic. But I'm finally starting to, for the first time in my life, feeling like I'm becoming healed and overcoming my traumas and overcoming my depression and overcoming all the things I've needed to overcome in my life to become my true version of myself. And I think that there will be a man for me when that happens.
Let me stop you right there. You have not healed yourself. You have not gone on your journey. Let me just translate what this means to the dudes who are watching this on my channel, okay? Women will say that, oh, I'm going through this healing journey, right? I'm going through this phase where I need to understand what it is that I want, fix my issues, blah, blah, blah. And then what inevitably happens is they come out on the other side and they go, ta-da, I've done some journaling and I'm healed now. My mental health is in a good position. So you know what? I'm ready for a good man now. I'm ready for a provider. I'm ready to be treated the way that I deserve to be treated as a woman. I mean, we've heard it all before, guys, right? Women get to a certain age, they do their little healing journey thing. They want to treat it as though it sheds them, like oh, I've been through all of these different dudes, but that taught me some valuable lessons. Now I'm ready for a real man. Sorry, no, that's not how that works. Real men don't want to date these women. They do not, man. They have self-respect. They don't want to date a woman who's been with a whole bunch of dudes. No healing journeys, no dating apps, no nothing. They don't want to date this.
When I complete this, not that it's ever fully complete, but I'm feeling I'm at the end of it. I feel like in the next year or so I'm going to finally come out like a butterfly. Like I feel like I've been a cocoon for the past like 10 years or so. Just I don't know what I was doing in the cocoon, but regardless.
I mean, I can tell you what you were doing, but YouTube would probably ban me if I were to put it into direct words. Yeah, so 10 years, this is what I'm saying, man, okay, is I feel like I'm ready now. I feel like I'm ready for a real man. I've done my journey. Maybe in one more year of screwing around with dudes on dating applications, I'll be finally ready to find my Prince Charming. Like, no, bro, this is this is not how this works. But this is how women, this is how they frame it, man. This truly is. This is a textbook of how women frame this stuff. We've even got the part where we throw religion in. Right? We've found God now, apparently.
I'm ready to come out of it, and it's me. I don't think it was me before. It was a character I was playing. It was the ego that we all take on as humans, especially in our earlier years. And I know I want a boyfriend so badly. I want to be loved so badly, but I'm also patient with God. But I also every day feel this sadness in me because I just want that love. But I know that a big part of it is you need to give it to yourself first, and I'm getting there. I am giving it to myself, but to want a man to come into my life right now and be with me is not right because I still am not fully loving myself, and I know I need to reach that first.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public, so make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode.
I know even though despite the fact that I started this video out very specifically talking about how I'm not looking for just a random guy, there's still going to be comments that are going to say something like, oh, just go out and you can just find a boyfriend, and somehow people make comments that are completely missing the point. I don't just want a boyfriend. I'm obviously a intellectual, deep thinker, and there's a certain type of person that I want in my life. I don't want just anyone. Of course, I'm a woman.
There it is. Right? There it is. The nice... This is... Man, if you take away any part of this video, this is exactly what I said in the intro, okay? We'll run that back and we'll play it again in a second. But she answers my comments at the beginning, right? I say, hey, listen, you could find a man if you wanted to. You could go to a coffee shop, have a conversation with a nice man, You could... Women have access to options. Right? This is why videos like this will not be received well. This woman right here, let me make this very, very clear. This woman has a ridiculous amount more options than any average man walking the face of the planet, unless he's like some sort of superstar. Even then, women have so much power in the dating market. They have so many options available to them, right? But here's the kicker. She doesn't want just any man. She wants a top-tier man. Why? Because she is a deep thinker and because she's a woman, apparently. Let me tell you this, okay? If your case to a very, very attractive man, if you want a top-tier man and your case to that man is, hey, listen, you should be in a relationship with me because I am a deep thinker and I'm 30 and I've been through a whole bunch of different dudes now and I'm ready for you, you might want to rethink your case. But what she just said there, guys, is I don't want any average man. I want a high quality man. I want a real high quality dude. I don't want just average Joe. Let me play that back, guys. This is probably the most important part of the video. Take a listen.
A boyfriend who make comments that are completely missing the point. I don't just want a boyfriend. I'm obviously a intellectual, deep thinker.
Yeah, right. Not sure what this has to do with anything. Okay, and guys, I'm not knocking this woman's intelligence, okay? Maybe you're one of the greatest philosophers of our generation. I mean, I doubt it, but hey, I'm not a philosopher, I wouldn't know, okay? You might be a really deep thinker. You might be the deepest of thinkers, okay? This is not something that's going to assist you with your resume for Chad, okay? Women, I mean, excuse me, men, this sounds really stupid, but these men that you're chasing, number one, they are not ready for commitment a lot of the times because they have a lot of options. They have no reason to commit to you. But they're not looking for this. What they're looking for is a wholesome woman, a kind, feminine woman who has not been with a bunch of dudes, who is cute. Not that hard. They're looking for a woman who's not unattractive and who hasn't been with a whole bunch of men and who is kind. You can do those three things. You are most of the way there. But most women can't do that. They can't do this. They try and say, hey, listen, I've got a great career, or I'm a deep thinker, or I'm this, or I'm that. Many things of which men don't care about. And the fact of the matter is, they're 30, and they've been with a whole bunch of dudes, and they have a whole bunch of baggage and mental issues, and so on and so forth.
And there's a certain type of person that I want in my life. I don't want just anyone. Of course, I'm a woman.
I'm a woman. I don't want some random average man. I want that tall guy, that guy with a good job, the man who's got a good heart but also can be stern when needed. You know, I want a man who has a beautiful low body fat percentage face, but at the same time is really quite large and muscular. Like, you know what I'm saying, guys? It's like they want that top tier man, but the top tier men, they don't want her. And you know, nor should these men want her, to be honest with you. In a lot of these videos, man, I see no incentive for a man to have a relationship with the woman in these videos, typically. They're all saying how they want a relationship, and here are their demands. Okay, fine. You can demand whatever it is that you want. This is a free market. I am all good for people making whatever demands that they want, right? But the fact of the matter is, a lot of these women getting humbled by the market, shall we say.
I can go out and probably find a boyfriend within 24 hours.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that they're somebody that I want to be with. I don't just want just a man. I want someone who is right for me.
I don't want just a man. I want somebody who's right for me.
And that's hard to find, especially when you're someone who, you know how they say the phrase like it's lonely at the top? I'm obviously not at the top, but what they're saying in that is that, I said it something like this in another video, is that it's rarity is lonely.
You are not rare. You are not at the top. You are not, this is the problem, man. This is what I'm talking about, this entitlement, right? Is she thinks that she's really valuable, right? She thinks that she deserves that top tier man. She has no perspective on what men want. These top tier men, they're not looking for you. They're like, this woman thinks that she is top tier. Many other women think that they're all that, right? And the reason why they think that is because they can get attention. And this is the point that I make on these videos. And I don't say this to be mean, but let me just tell you something right now. Getting attention from a man is not the same as getting a relationship from him. And also, getting a relationship from a simp or getting a relationship from a man who does not respect himself is also very, very different from getting a man who respects himself and will cherish you and look after you, etc. There's the whole thing, man. There's the whole thing. You can think that you're top tier, that's lonely at the top, but let me tell you right now, guys, this woman, dime a dozen. I don't care. You could make this woman the most beautiful woman on the face of the earth. The thing is, a lot of guys are not going to give a damn. They'll have bedroom fun with you, sure. But again, getting a relationship, whole different thing. Nobody tells women this, man. I'm telling you, this this video that I'm making right now is probably incredibly helpful to women who are going to listen to it. But the problem is, so many women do not want to listen to that. They want to listen to the lie that they can have whatever man that they want. They're the best thing since sliced bread. You know, they just want things that pat their ego. They don't want to hear any harsh realities that even might help them. It's funny, man. People don't want to hear things that might help them significantly. They would just rather live in their delusion, which is fine. But, you know, let's call it for what it is.
I said something like this in another video, is that it's rarity is lonely. So to have some sort of rarity is a very lonely situation to be, because there's very few people who are like you. So if you're at the top and successful and everything, there's very few people who are like you. So it's
I'm sighing, guys. I'm rubbing my eyeballs. I'm going to let her speak for a bit longer before I respond to that.
lonely. And for myself, when you're aware of things, and, you know, I don't like to be all in the ego and calling myself spiritually awakened, because one cannot really be fully awakened, but you get what I'm saying. To find someone like that is it's not a simple task, but I put that job in the hands of God.
Okay, a lot to unpack here, guys. So this woman, I don't even know where to begin with this, guys. This hurts my damn brain, okay? This woman thinks, like many other modern women, because she is successful now, and because she has accumulated quote-unquote spiritual wisdom, that this qualifies her for a successful man who is also spiritual. So let me get this straight. You want a successful man who is perhaps religious, maybe he's a godly man. Let's just translate this. You want a good man with finances. That's what we want. So now that we're 30, we want a good man, good values, good spirituality, whatever it is that you want to call it, and you want a man who is more financially successful than you are. And your value exchange for this, here's what you're offering this man. 30 years of age, been with a whole bunch of different dudes, damaged, in your own words. I don't mean to roast this woman, but she quite frankly says that she is damaged. And you're a deep thinker with a good career. None of these qualities are even in men's like top 5 typically, right? Like deep thinker is like somewhat relevant, I guess. Some like it's so low down, man. Here's what a real man, like men's lists actually looks like. Number 1, is she a good person? That's really up there. Number 2, does she eat does she love McDonald's, right? So number 1, is she kind? Number 2, does she look like a troll? If she is kind and doesn't look like a troll, you're a good amount of the way there. Has she been with a whole bunch of different dudes? If the answer is yes, GG, it's over. Call it, wrap it up, FF, right? It's done. Men, this is not an even exchange for men. Women might think it is, but let me tell you right now, it is not a fair exchange for men. This is not what men are looking for. Okay, but women, man, they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen.
And this video isn't about me trying to find a man, because I know that it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. It's just about me being lonely. I just desire that connection so much, and so many people do, and that's what makes people turn to casual sex or to maintaining like dating and situationships that aren't good for them, because that
No. That's not why. I love the framing of this. Oh, women, they just hook up with random dudes because they're looking for love. No. You're hooking up with random dudes because you find them attractive, and you're hoping you can get a relationship out of them. I don't like, guys, how we have to hide behind this spirituality, right? Or that you're somehow a victim in this situation. Because the framing of this, notice how it always tries to make the woman look like she's the victim. Oh, I'm just looking for love. That's why I'm on Tinder all day. That's why I'm on Bumble or Hinge or whatever other dating app there is, right? That's why. I end up in all these dudes' beds is because I'm just looking for love, right? And this is why so many women end up with situationships.
That need for that romantic companionship is so strong, and to choose to go without it is really painful. And for some people, you know, you might not find the right person for a long time, so you don't know how long it's going to be until you find that person. I don't know, and I don't even know if I will. I have to have faith in God that I will, and I really hope I do, but it's just so painful every day. And there's this guy that I've been having this like on and off, not even a relationship thing, situationship, who knows what it is, just for the past almost a year now.
And it continues. It continues. Okay, so she is still in quote unquote situationships, right? So this woman, despite the fact that she is looking for a good man, she's looking for her Prince Charming, what is she doing with her time? She is hooking up with dudes still. She literally has just said this. She's been seeing a man for close to a year, over a year, I can't quite remember. Around a year. She's been hooking up with this dude, no relationship. This is crazy to me, man, how women have such little respect for themselves, and yet they expect a good man to come along and to cherish them. I'll say this, guys, you know, this woman said something correct in this video, which is if you want love, the love has got to come from you. And these women, man, they don't love themselves, they don't respect themselves, they're broken, and they're damaged. And they continue to do it, despite the fact that this woman understands that she is in the wrong place mentally. She continues to do the exact same thing. Absolutely hilarious. Guys, we're going to wrap up this video because it's already been 35 minutes and I need to go to the gym and detox myself from what I just heard. So don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments to this one's video. We're going to be leaving today's episode there, guys. Make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.